that
I was
and
just
that
thinking,
she really gained popularity during the pandemic. She moved to Austin.
yeah, I was just thinking about that. I was just thinking, like, wow, I really, like you said, obviously there was a lot more going on than just that in my life, but I think there's something that happens when you like allow yourself to get pressured into silence that like I've kind of been fighting my way out of and back from ever since. And then of course it's like baby this, baby that, like it hasn't just been like a straight line at all, but I see other people who've had children and gone through things during that time and they haven't really like stopped their, and I also feel like I never really spoke fully out or wrote about what happened at the end of the other life.
Hmm.
There's this part of me that feels like there's this like hole, there's like this blank space that like needs to be filled with like what.
Maybe it's a book in you.
Yeah, I've been thinking that lately.
And having enough of a vantage point, right? You're not in it with some distance. And the more distance you get, the more you'll be able to frame a book.
Yeah, there's actually like two books that I really really want to write. One of them is that, and then one of them is a fiction book that I thought was a screenplay, but then I'm like, it might just be easier to write it as a book and then have it like adapted as a screenplay.
I feel like
Um,
people are writing novels for the screen. Like, it's not even literature anymore. It's like, I'm just going to get this out and then I know it's going to be optioned. Like, I can feel the difference. No shade. I can just feel the difference when I'm reading it.
like, do you like to read? I mean, you're so much more of an intellectual than me, I feel, but do you like to read Taylor Jenkins Reid?
No.
Oh my god, it's like fucking candy. Like if you want to read a book in 6 hours, like this is your girl.
Yeah, I don't read. I watch, well, I guess I watch more candy than I do. I don't know if you would call it candy. We have to talk about DTF, by the way, if you haven't.
What's that?
DTF St. Louis.
Is this a TV show?
Yes,
Wait, are you watching reality?
it's it's not reality TV.
What?
It's a fictional, it's David Harbour and Jason Bateman on HBO Max and Linda
Oh,
Cardellini.
okay, okay.
It is so strange and
Okay,
unique
okay,
and funny and moving. It's wholly unique. You have to watch it. We have to talk about it at
okay.
some point.
Watched. I haven't finished the Madison. I've watched up to episode 5,
So good.
but like I think I like watching that show because it's like even though it's dramatic and sad and but I can relate to all the
Mm.
things that are happening. It's just visually like a fucking vacation.
It's so gorgeous.
I'm like, let's drive there right.
Let's go right there. Right. No, it's so gorgeous. And we have to talk about the Paradise season 2 finale.
Okay, where should we? So many
There's
fuck.
so many things on
So
this full moon.
oh my god, the full moon. Also, like I went to my first yoga class yesterday since last July.
That's impressive.
I mean, God bless Tyler. He just knows my spirit so well, and he knows how much I need yoga and how much it's like an in like it's just the most important thing to my like spiritual life. And I was like, I'm gonna go to a yoga class on Wednesday, and then of course Wednesday came, and I was like, I don't know, I can't leave the baby, and you guys need me, and I was
And
having
he's
this,
like, go.
and he's really like, please go, like I know he's doing it because he knows I need it, but I also think he's doing it because he can feel how like my energy is so not okay. And he's like, no, like you're going for you, but I'm pushing you to go for me. You're like not, you're like unwell. And it was just like, to be it's so hard to describe like the chasm of motherhood that's like on one hand you just like want to pour yourself into everyone and everything all the time and on the other half you just like so deeply fucking crave like alone time.
Isn't that the paradox of it?
it's it's the paradox, but when living it is like
Yeah.
it's so hard to tear it's so hard to tear yourself away and then it feels so good but then you feel so guilty and then but then you're in it and you want to get away. It's like so
But also, it's like, it's also a benefit to them for you to come back to yourself and even have like an hour to move your body and get that chi flowing. What kind of yoga do you do?
of course, and that's the whole thing, right? Like a caregiver who doesn't care for themselves is no good to the people they care for. I just like my jam is like a hot, slow
The
flow. Like
best.
it was a hot hatha class, which I really appreciated that they bothered to call it hatha because I'm like,
Yeah.
oh, this like respects the tradition.
As opposed to core power yoga.
I I like
That's
I
what
can't.
I do, like hot hatha, like not a fast moving, but I walk out feeling like I've been wrung
Yeah,
like a towel.
yes,
I know.
it's
It's the
the
best.
best. It was like what it just. I was having this moment. I realized that since I've given birth, I haven't stopped to like be like, whoa, I gave birth. Like, I'm like in my hips in this class, and I'm like, these things just did so fucking much work. Like, it, I feel like with the second
Yeah.
baby, I like stop and like integrate. It just was like, there's another one now. Like, let's fucking go.
Is she 7 weeks?
7 weeks, yeah, yeah. But she looks
It's
3 months. She's an enormous baby. It's she's
strong.
very strong. Okay,
What are we discussing? Yeah.
center.
I really am digging this Pippi Longstocking situation you have going on.
I I wake I sleep in these braids, they turn into a fucking hot mess. I wake up, I unbraid them, I rebraid them. That's like rinse and repeat. There's like
That's a good postpartum
I don't know what else to do. Otherwise it's just a true like dreadlock.
situation. Did you find with this full moon, did you were you hearing I don't know how much of a bubble you're feeling being postpartum, but is relationship stuff coming up around you, even like not even you and Tyler? Like I feel like I found out my friend fell in love, and I felt like another couple that it came out of nowhere, they broke up. Like I feel like there was a lot of relationship energy around me with this full moon, which was in Libra and very relationship focused.
Well, my brother got engaged yesterday.
What?
Yeah.
So there you go.
Yep, that's pretty big.
Yeah.
Um and then I was
You like him?
I
Well, why
love
would you say you don't like him on this thing? Like that would be awful.
no,
Sometimes I really forget that this is recorded and we're
I, well, my brother doesn't watch anything I do, so I would be feeling free to say what I want. But no, I love him
oh,
so much and they are just such a beautiful couple and um he's so cute. He like asked my dad for his hand and he's like, I don't know what happened. I don't know why I'm like a suddenly got like really like Roman Catholic
yeah.
tradition in my ass, but like I like went and like called your dad and like told him my intentions and like meanwhile I'm like the daughter who got pregnant by an ex-convict. I'm like, Tyler, are you gonna ask for my hand? And he's like, I would never do that. I'm like, true, true, true.
Hey, I ask for your hand every day.
Stop eavesdropping.
Okay, so there you go. I feel like every around, and then just clients and people in my life. I feel like there was relationship news.
Imagine Tyler was like came in here and proposed to me right now.
Would you like that, or would you be mortified by that?
I don't know. It's not like a dream I have. I'm sure
Yeah.
like if it happened, I'd be like, oh, this is so sweet. I mean, I think I would also feel like, yeah, a little embarrassed. I don't know. The whole I like just kind of being low key.
Right, like not being engaged, not being asked at like a sporting event with on the you know how people do that with the
Oh,
jumbotron.
no, 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 no.
I know, but
Can't.
there are some women that really want that. No, no, like some women really crave that kind of.
Yeah, and I think that's great. I love that for them. I don't
No,
feel
I'm the same.
yeah. I do think it would be fun to get married and have like a really fun party.
Yeah, also with the kids.
The kids and like I do think there's something, I oscillate between being like, oh, marriage is such like a old paradigm, like basically you're just selling your daughter off for land type thing. I'm
I don't.
like,
I think though it's like
but then I
there.
think it's difficult to declare your love in front of a community.
Yes, and I think there is like a transformative. I have friends and clients who are marriage for them is a transformative experience, like really entering into a union.
Yeah, that's kind of what now that I'm in the thing that I'm in, I feel like it would be so sweet for us.
Yeah.
But when I was young, I very much was like thought it was a weird play. Like I remember
Well,
being
you
at
were
my
like 90s
yeah,
punk around it.
yeah, it was just like I went to my friend's wedding when I was like 25 and I was like this feels like a play.
Because
Like
maybe it did.
everyone just, well, they did end up, it's funny because they end up getting divorced and it turned out that the whole thing was a sham. So maybe I
Maybe
was,
your just intuition was spot on.
yeah, it wasn't the wedding, it was the couple actually that I was being like, I don't think this is real.
Yeah.
But there's about anything like that that feels like there's like, you do this and then you do that and then you do this and then you do that, feels to me like, yeah, it doesn't feel like individualized. It feels like, oh, this is what you're supposed to do. And I'm just the type of person that's always like, but why do we do it like that? Why can't we do it like this? Whereas like, I've been to
Yeah.
weddings.
Some people love that stuff. The like I'm not wired for wedding showers, baby showers.
Right.
Like I'm just I don't the idea of like for me, I just don't I would want to leave my own party early. I don't like being the center of attention like that.
My friends
Genuinely.
had a full baby shower when I was pregnant with Asher, but it was so not baby shower. There was no like baby shower games. There was no like present opening. It
But
was
I
just
think it's beautiful. Like I really think it's beautiful. It's just I don't know, that Mars conjunct Uranus and Scorpio really fucks me up. Like I just I just can't conform to system. Like whatever it is I have, I'm sure someone could psychoanalyze me. I have just like a profound block to those experts. My mom wore blue on her wedding day. Maybe
love.
maybe that's and my mom opted out of all. So maybe like I'm sure that has an effect, but like is in there.
Well, this kind of is an interesting segue into discussing what Bridget's article said.
It's so good. Well, it's really it's like it we have a culture that's pandering to younger generations that don't have the lived experience to comment on what they're talking about, which is as old as time, right?
Yeah.
But
But what's
like
not at the time is that young people thinking they know because they've watched TikTok videos.
yes.
And
This
then,
is my thing though about like even astrology and human design and all the different it's like being armed with the information doesn't mean you're actually good at or skilled at whatever it is yet. It's like just because you have to live into something. Information about something is very different from a lived experience. It's like the younger people who will say to people who have fled Cuba, you don't understand communism. I understand it because I read about it in a book.
right.
What?
Yeah.
What
Yeah.
is happening?
Well, it's like how everyone comments on, I
Everything.
want to be careful about how I say this because I don't want it to sound uninformed on top of uninformed, I guess. But it's like how everyone has a hot take on like the Middle East. And then like,
Yes,
and then people who are living that reality are like wanting certain things that are happening potentially.
correct.
And then we have like the audacity to say like that they don't, either we say they don't know what they're talking about, or we don't even pay attention to the fact that there's truth in that, because nothing is black and white, right? It's just like the internet makes you have a polarizing take. And that's one thing that happened during COVID, and maybe it was like this before, is that now everything needs to be this or that. I mean, I was even reading an article yesterday about from it's like EV magazine, it's like this thing I follow on
Yeah,
Instagram, about like the home birth versus hospital debate. It's like, why does
I
it
saw that.
single
Why is
fuck,
everything like polar and what like and why can we allow nuance? And also something that happened during COVID that is really problematic is people's personal medical choices became something that everybody else had an opinion about, no matter what it is. Like
yeah,
talk about pregnancy, birth, whatever. Anything. You're taking those supplements, or you're not doing Western, or this is how you're dealing with cancer. It's like who has the right to tell anybody else
it's like
how
judgment
to
will feel like they're right, and then them feeling right makes them feel like they're safe, but it's all just like a reflective reactive ego bullshit. Like, and I check myself
100%.
like sometimes I feel like with parenting, you know, it's like everyone does things like so differently. And so every once in a while, somebody will do something that I catch myself being like, ooh, like I would never do that.
Yeah.
Then I have to like walk it back in my mind. I'm like, well, that's not your fucking kid. So why do you care? It's
Yeah.
not business, bitch. This is
No,
my,
it really is wild how we have decided, we talk about privacy being taken away, but this is part of it. It's like people have a right, live and let live. What happened to that? Like
that was like,
people have a right
that was like
to live the way they
instilled
want to live.
as children.
What did you say about children?
Like live and let live was like instilled in us as children. Like
That's
if
what I'm saying.
especially, well, actually, you know what? Not even. It was both my mom, liberal side of the family, and my dad, Catholic side of the family, that had the same mantra. That was maybe one of the common denominators of all the things was live and let live. That's why my mom and dad could even be married in the first place, which they got divorced, but that wasn't because of this. But because Jew and Catholic, that wasn't something that was like either of their cultures wanted.
It's just this idea that everybody has an opinion on everybody else. It's such a way to avoid looking at oneself and saying, well, why is that so upsetting to me? It's like there's this woman that I know from a distance who I follow on Instagram, and she got cancer. I think she's in her 50s, maybe like mid 50s. And people came at her and they were like, "Well, did you get the shot? And did this happen? And did this happen? And did you how do I not make this happen to me?" But then you look at someone else who got cancer. It has nothing to do with the shot. Like I just think this idea that it's safetyism. If I do this, nothing bad will happen to me. It just doesn't, that's not life.
No, it's just
You
not.
can take certain measures, obviously, to better your health and take care of yourself, but it really all feels like it is egocentric, and it's like if I if I protect myself, then I'm better than.
Mm-hmm.
But you don't know that you can.
Much of like kind of what like wellness has become like
That's what I'm
there's like
saying.
there's an elitism that has seeped into wellness culture that is so yuck, and it doesn't even have to do with the price points being like out of control. It has
Yeah.
you're saying, which is that I feel since I'm making better choices, I'm somehow like better than those that are not making those choices, and like I look down upon that.
Yeah, what is that?
It's I think safetyism is such an I've never heard that. I've never heard that word before, but I think that's such an interesting describer. Really, it's like because it just puts you in a position to pretend like you're safe to yourself by putting it on other people that like they're not. You know, it's like this weird hierarchy, and maybe there's just like a spiritual upgrade that everyone needs, where everyone just needs to like kill their ego on every level, in
It
order to.
just feels like it's like it all has to do with this idea of advertising one's life and making one's own choices one's brand.
Right. I know. See, this is okay. So I'm glad you're talking about this because I think this is part of why I kind of like went dark a bit on like having a brand. Because I remember when my mom was sick and my friend, my guy friend, was like, you should like document all of this and you should like make it like the story that you're telling right now. And I was just like, of course, I took some videos and everything because I wanted to remember her.
Mhm.
But remember what was happening, and I'm glad I did that. But like the idea of like turning that experience into my like new story that I was telling for an audience felt like so gross to me. And the same thing when I got pregnant. It's like everyone's like, make this your story, make this your brand. I'm just like, oh, like I
Why can't it just be life and you are you and you're multi-talented and multifaceted and these are part of your life experiences, and because you're an artist and you're creative, of course it gets metabolized and worked through your work. But the idea that like then it's like, you know what it reminds me? It's like someone who's an actor who's pigeonholed, like what happened to Matthew McConaughey, where he was only doing rom-coms and then he's like, I don't want to do rom-coms.
right.
Taking yourself, same with Meg Ryan. It's just
Right.
that he transitioned a little bit better maybe than she did. I think they're both Scorpios, which is funny.
5 years of like not working.
Yes, because when you're pigeonholed, so if you make something your brand, what happens if you change your mind? Not you're not going to change your mind about motherhood, but like what if you change what if you pivot or I don't this idea that everything needs to be locked in and
Yeah.
then is so I don't know, that personally feels like a cage to me.
And don't you feel like it prevents us? I think this is what I really hit up against. Like, I think it prevents us from growing and having true, authentic experiences if we're constantly trying to have them and perform them and share them at the same time. Like,
Of
I just
of course.
natural. Like, it just feels so. People going through some. Like yesterday, I was going through some postpartum moment, right? And I was like feeling this weird like need to like put something online because I'm feeling pressure to
Mhm,
like be a creator again, right?
mhm.
Like pressure coming down. And I was like gonna share something, and I was like, I had this weird just exchange with my phone, right, in my own mind. And I was like, just put the fucking thing down, dude. Like you don't have to be having an experience and metabolizing it at the exact same
You
time.
can't really. You
And then
can't.
wisdom to share about it as it's happening, which is what I feel like so many of these like coaches and influencers kind of are right now or became is like that's why it's flimsy and it's like a smokescreen because it's not integrated.
Right, and it takes time. It takes time, and we will metabolize things differently as we move through them. And that's also like the wisdom of age and the gift of 40s and the 50s. It's like not everything has to be understood in real time. Most things can't be understood in real time. Like when you were talking about your mom, I was thinking about that Anna Quinlan novel, One True Thing, and it became a movie with Renee Zellweger and Meryl Streep.
I never heard of it or saw
Oh,
it.
it's so good. The movie is so good. Renee Zellweger plays a writer or journalist at the New Yorker. It's based on Anna Quinlan's own, and her mom, Meryl Streep, who was a full-time homemaker, is dying of cancer, and she moves home. It's like Jersey, I think, or and the process and the transformation that she goes through. And then she wrote a novel and then it became a but these things that's as old as time to take
Yeah.
experiences and and do something with them. Think of like a breakup album, right? Almost all the best albums of all time are breakup albums because it's a metabolizing, but that immediately hits the airwaves. I don't know. Like then we're just all reacting off of.
Feels like manic and weird
It
to me.
is. I think it is. I think that's the perfect word for it because also we're in the opinion economy and we're also in the relevance economy. I think that a lot that's why her essay, Bridget's essay, is so powerful because it's leave me behind. I don't need to know the latest sling. I don't need to put my life up. I don't need to dance on TikTok. Like I am good with my viewership being Gen X or late millennial or older. And that's cool. I'm going
Yeah,
to
like,
tend to my work and tend to my garden.
as you get older too, don't you just it's like what she said, like you realize the value of all the older people in your life when you were younger. Like I remember my mom
Yes.
was playing Barbie Girl once for at my house. You know that song?
No.
Oh my god, I think you might
I
be
might know it, but not know the name.
it was definitely like happening when you were probably a little too old to care. Like it was like when I was like 13, so you would have been like 17 and I
Yeah.
don't think right. But it was like I'm a Barbie girl, it's fantastic. I am
That
fantastic.
sounds familiar.
And it was like cool music video, whatever. It was like a moment of pop culture. And I was playing it at my parents' house and their friend wanted to put on like a Stones album.
Yeah.
Like it's all about Aqua right now. This man was like,
Yes.
come to me
Exactly.
when you're 40 and tell me if you want to listen to the Rolling Stones or Aqua.
100%. And some of that stuff
Tell him.
lasts, like, right? Some of the stuff that came out in the 80s or 90s, I still go back and listen to. They say that the music that you listen to in your teens is the music that sticks with you.
I mean, I know every single lyric to Jagged Little Pill. I know every single lyric to
Alanis.
to fucking the Sublime Sublime album, like 100%. Those are the things I go back to time and time again in a way that I don't go back to anything else.
Because I think because that's such a profound developmental stage.
Mm.
So there's that. But if you are listening to stuff, I mean, there is just 70s music, man.
But my point is just that, like, I thought I knew more about anything than this man who was trying to show me one of the
But
great.
that's it. But and that's youth. That is the role of youth. It's just that we have given youth a microphone and not even a microphone, a megaphone. And this is did we talk about, like, this is the everyone gets a trophy thing,
Yeah.
and no one's it's okay for an older person to tell a younger person, you're going to learn this in time, and that's just your turn.
And like it makes people feel bad. Like it makes like me, my generation in whatever, like show business or any business really, feel like if you're not 20 and on top of your game, or you haven't hit your like success marker yet, or that you didn't when you were that age, that you're like it's too far gone for you. Like something that I've been telling myself recently, and because I started writing again, I was like, I've been a writer my whole life and I've never really given myself the full um permission to like do all the things I want to do in writing, which is like I've always wanted to write a book. And then I was thinking like, but it's okay if at the end of my life I'm like, it took me till I was 40 to really take it seriously. Like it's okay. Like
What are you
if I
talking, like, that's
if I have
that's
to be
it.
I know, but like there's a part of me that had to work through that feeling like why didn't I already do it? And it's like I'm just going through the same thing that everyone's going through, which is the feeling of like, what did I do in my youth and how did I get here and what is going on? Like just the existential coming out of postpartum, turning 40, the portal of the pandemic, all that stuff. It feels like that's over, but the beginning is now. And then what do we do at the beginning? There has to be like a little bit of grief and examination in order to get to the next step.
Yeah, I mean, this feels very Pisces Aries, that cusp that we're in, right? It's like the ending and the beginning. Is this called the Ouroboros? Is that what that's called? When it's like
Yeah.
an infinity sign? Like, that's what it feels like. And the thing about writing specifically is that it almost and that unless you take like like the Hemingways or whatever, it almost always gets better with age.
Yeah, but so does so many things. The only thing that doesn't
Everything.
age is your fucking face and your ass.
But
Everything
like,
else.
look at Walton Goggins. I know he's a man, but look at his blowing up. Or
Yeah,
like, how old is Robbie Hoffman? She kind of feels like out ageless. Like, I can't place her.
around like late 30s, early 40s.
I never saw her until like
Never.
2 weeks ago.
She like got cast on Hacks and then like blew up.
Yeah. So, and things can happen. And this is another reason why I love astrology, because you can really see, oh, the dog's food is done. You can really see that people have their own cycles,
Totally.
and people peak and blossom and then peak again at all different ages and stages. And that's all beautiful. I think because I have so much Capricorn and Virgo in my chart and Saturn, I just, I love looking to older women.
Me too. And like there's nothing I find to be more inspiring than an older woman who's like fully in her power. But I think what the article didn't talk about, which is kind of what we've talked about many times, is that the other thing is the celebration of youth culture just in the beauty world too, right? Where it's like everything, not only ideologically are we like saying, let's give these people a voice, but the older people are chasing it not only with the audience that they're trying to pander to, but also with the way that they look and the way that they operate.
Yeah, I mean, that's really, I do wonder if there's going to be swing back. I talked about this with my fellow astrologer, Emily Russo. Like, is Saturn in Taurus? Saturn's in Aries right now, but Taurus is beauty, right? Uranus has been in Taurus since 2018, 2019. It's leaving April 26th for Gemini. And Taurus is beauty. And Uranus is technology and disruption. And I feel like there's been so much disruption and change over the past 7 years in the beauty industry,
Yeah.
right? Like, everything from this explosion of surgical endeavors to
Well said.
to endeavor to you know body positivity, to the blowback to body positivity, like all of that. And will Saturn entering Taurus in 2028, will there be repercussion to the, oh, it doesn't matter ethnicity, all these people look the same,
Right.
they have the same face because they're seeking the same face. And I do think there is an effect on that, on biology and mating, because we are just like when women take the pill and their hormones are disrupted and they can't smell, they can't take in the pheromones. The same thing occurs for mating. Like
Yeah.
some men like a really strong nose. Some, and it's our visual cues are part of our mating process,
Totally.
right? So I don't know. I feel like there's going to be a blowback or consequence, and even like with Love Story, and people being like, "Oh, Carolyn Bessette was so beautiful, but she wasn't cookie cutter looking, and Sarah Pigeon isn't cookie cutter looking, and oh, maybe I can have a fit. Oh, maybe if I watch '90s movies or '80s movies, or I watch Breakfast Club, they had faces."
Totally. You know what? The way that I feel about my face getting wrinkles is kind of the way I feel about how I used to feel when I didn't shave my armpits.
I went through that phase too.
Like I remember like not shaving my armpits and
Yeah,
like going to Hollywood in my like late 20s and being like, I'm like the motherfucking bitch in here, right? Like everyone's
yeah.
trying to be hot and I'm just like out here with these armpits. And I felt like such a pride around it. That's how I kind of feel now with wrinkles.
Yeah, I first of all, I love it. Like when I see faces, and I'm not just saying this, I think there is such beauty. Like when I've been in Europe or like walk down the street in New York City and I see these older women with these beautiful faces and lines around their eyes, and like I think of, I mean, I haven't seen her in a while, so I'm hoping she has not destroyed her face, but like Kristen Scott Thomas. Do you know who that is?
I don't think I
Horse Whisperer. She's like a British, she's a very like well-respected British actress, but she's older. Like I just think, or like Kate Winslet.
or Michelle Pfeiffer on the
Oh,
fucking mat. I mean, I think she might have had her neck done.
a little some, but it's not like I mean, also she's one of the most beautiful women ever, but there's
But
just
like,
something.
sorry, no,
No,
you go.
there's just something about seeing faces. I love faces. And what happens when we start destroying face or just making faces? I do think it affects more than just what it affects more than what we think it does.
Well, that's why I was bringing it up in this conversation because it plays it plays into the psyche of the collective in a way that Bridget is talking about more than just what meets the eye. You know,
I
it's like
agree.
it speaks to something larger and then it reinforces something larger as well.
Yeah, and I think it's also it it the interesting thing is I think women think it's for mating. They think it will secure them a certain kind of mate.
Yeah.
They want to be seen as a, but ironically, I think it may have the opposite effect long term.
And it's like I remember when I was in my 20s, I had a boyfriend and I went on birth control because I was so afraid of getting pregnant in my 20s.
Mhm.
And as soon as I went on birth control, I like didn't want to be near him or have sex with him anymore.
That's what I'm saying.
It was like, what is the point of this birth control if it makes me feel like you're repulsive?
What, right. So I don't know what the long-term consequences are, but I don't know. I love faces, and I think it's problematic
Yeah,
if we start making them all look the same.
totally. And then in that article, she was talking about like, I don't, I mean, I don't follow Tucker Carlson or I've seen some of his interviews, most notably when he interviewed the crackhead that supposedly sucked Barack Obama's dick.
No, he's gone round the bend. I mean,
Like what is he
Like
doing
he
now?
recently said that there's no city in America that's thriving and Sharia law helps cities thrive. Except under Sharia law,
What?
yeah, no, he's gone round the bend. So I want to circle back because what is happening with the youth is that there is a multi-billion dollar initiative that has lasted decades to try and disrupt the American youth and confuse them.
Yeah.
And so there's a disinformation campaign, there's a propaganda campaign, and it's why certain things don't make it viral, like the beheading of Christians all throughout Nigeria that is happening. Just you don't see anything about that.
No, you do not.
So there is that's what she's referring to, and she's referring to having a moral compass that exists when one has lived on this planet and experienced things and recognizes that women's rights are actually pretty fragile.
Right.
And women being able to, like, oh, people are gonna not like it, but Margaret Atwood's Handmaid's Tale
Yeah.
was written in response to the Iranian Revolution.
Wow.
It's just red, not black. And somehow people are misinformed to the point where they think a country that hangs, flogs, and rapes women before execution for not wearing a hijab have more rights than in America, where I am an unmarried single woman, own my own business, own my own house, drive my own car.
Yeah.
You can drive there, but I can walk freely outside my, like, that is just pure propaganda.
Totally.
It's more disturbing when I see women in their 40s, 50s, 60s who say the same thing. Like, what?
Yeah.
Like, and maybe you just weren't paying attention in
Well,
79 during the revolution and every year since. But the, these things are, there is big, 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 big money, billions of money behind this. And
yeah.
that's also what she's referring to.
Yeah. God, I talked to my acupuncturist who's Iranian, and she was a kid when everything was happening and her parents left the country. And it's just
Do you
like,
know Nikki Bostwick?
yeah, I know her.
Yeah. Her grandfather was executed.
Oh, really?
Yeah. And her family fled. She still has family there.
Wow. Yeah. Same with this woman. And she just was like, it's just, for her, it's just like so much grief that she has to watch from a distance that this is like the country
It-
that was like thriving and so beautiful. And she was describing it to me and how it used to be. And then,
yeah.
and she doesn't she's not like in America being like pro Iran in a certain way. Like she's pro her culture, but
She's
not,
pro Persia. She's
yeah,
pro Persian, yes, and Farsi. And most people think that Iranians are Muslim, but they're not. More, some are, but a large majority of Iranians are actually Zoroastrian.
which is,
It's just a different kind. It's more of like a, I guess it's one could say it's an indigenous religion,
mm,
and I don't know the specificity of it, but like all throughout the Middle East, there have been indigenous religions and cultures, but Islamic radicalism has destroyed those. Look at, like, you can even see like the dress, like the gorgeous dresses of Afghanistan and Syria and all of the local customs. In Afghanistan, women can only look through one eye. They're not allowed to sing, dance. They're not allowed to look out the window. They're not allowed to speak in public.
that's so
And
fucking,
people think that I don't have rights, that you don't have rights
yeah,
in comparison, that it's the same.
yeah.
No, no.
No, it's not
So
the same.
that's what she's addressing. Like, hello. But most of America understands this.
But it's also coming from the, like what she talked about, like the entitlement of the youth. Like I have a nanny and she's 23 years old. And she was saying, when Asher goes to sleep, can I help her order a coffee to the house? And I was like,
Yeah.
I could just make you a coffee. And she was like, okay, barista. And I was like, yeah, I used to be a barista and I used to be a juice bar girl and I used to be a hostess and a waitress and a bartender. And then
Because that's what you do.
I started naming all the jobs I had. And she was like looking at me like, whoa, what? I mean, she's an amazing nanny and she
Yeah.
works super strong. But it just made me think about how like these kids today could never, like, I had 3 jobs at any given time for my entire 20s, you know, like
Do you know my first job in LA was?
what?
I sold olive oil at the farmer's market. I had to like keep a trunk full of olive oil
Oh my god.
at in my car, and I would work at all the farmers markets. That was my first gig. And I
That.
remember this random guy one day comes up to me and he's like, "You're not supposed to eat chicken." And I didn't eat chicken for like a decade because of that.
What?
It's, it's like such an LA story. Yeah, I sold olive oil.
Wow, I love that. Do you remember the brand?
No, it was like some artisan local brand, but like those are the kind I temped all over the Fox lot and CBS lot for years, like right around the recession, like 2008, 2000. I worked at CBS lot, mostly CBS lot, the one on the other side, like on the other side of Laurel Canyon, like Ventura. What's that one? Do you know what I'm talking about? And the Fox lot.
CBS Radford in Studio City.
Yes, yes, yes. And the Fox lot, I temped all over there. That's how I survived and paid rent.
I love that.
I wonder if like people still do that, if that's still a thing. But yeah, I think those jobs, that your jobs in the 20s, especially if you're, a creative artistic person. Obviously, like if you're going to be a lawyer or you're going to be a surgeon and you have a very clear, you're not going to do stuff like that. Well, maybe you have to make extra money, while in law school.
I
But
mean, I think nowadays you do, unless you
yeah,
come from money.
right. So I think, but all of those shape, like you have to learn to, like, I remember my first real job in LA is I worked at like one of the top entertainment law firms. I remember, this is so embarrassing, but I was 25 years old and you know, I remember being on a call, like and I said something and he's like, "You're not supposed to speak." And I was
That,
like, "Yeah."
but it's like we worked and we didn't think that we were that we like I think this is kind of what she was like getting to on some level. Like, this is what I was interpreting is like we didn't work, but then think we were supposed to be like an influencer at the same time. You know, like we didn't work and think we
You
like
just
deserve.
worked.
I wasn't like I'm a bartender, but I deserve better. You know what I mean? It was just like,
But
no,
you
I'm just
worked.
working. I'm making so much fucking cash for a 20-year-old, just like making mixed drinks. Like, who gives a shit? But I think like the attitude, and I know any person right now who has a business and has to hire like younger people says the same thing, which is that they all suck at working.
I tell my niece, who is 19, I say, if you put your head down and you focus and you go and you get jobs and you will be leagues ahead.
Totally.
Like, just like, she wants to go to law school. And I was like, if you want these things,
Mm-hmm.
and you will rise so far ahead if you just don't pay attention to the noise,
Totally.
that noise, you
Yeah.
know? And she's gonna, because that's what you do in your 20s and you stumble or whatever. But I just think this idea that, yeah, I don't think it's healthy to think you should have the world at 25.
It's definitely not healthy to be in your 40s, 50s, and 60s and want those people to think you're cool.
I mean, balloon drop, mic drop. What's the thing? So
Balloon.
not
What's that?
balloon,
They don't really pop, they just kind of float away. What are you talking about?
balloon explosion.
Explosion,
Yes.
and like, yeah, I love that too because there's, we the audience exists everywhere. And
But
like,
that's what I'm saying. It's like, and also what's so interesting is I've always found this interesting about the American economy. Like, women, single women actually have, like single women in their 40s and 50s have the most disposable income
Right.
to spend, to
Yeah.
buy things. And yet so much of it is oriented towards youth. But that's why, like, I like a brand. Like, if you're selling a dress for $400 and you're marketing to 25-year-olds, like, unless you're just a trust fund baby, like, you're not likely not able to.
I've had a journal that I wrote in when I was like 25, and I wrote that I was like started buying crystals.
Mhm.
And I wrote in my journal that I couldn't believe in my journal. I was like, I can't believe that I spent $65 on crystals. Cut
Yeah.
to now, thousands of dollars that I've spent on crystals and crystal jewelry to
Mhm.
my 25-year-old self. I remember going into like this crystal jewelry store in East LA, and they sold like sterling silver crystal, and I was like coveting it. It was like $50. I was like, to
Yeah.
me that was so much
Yeah.
money.
But
Wait,
isn't that a rite of passage?
totally. Wait, this is a funny anecdote that I'm just remembering. Have I told you this before?
No, I don't know.
Kevin Nealon used to have a show. It was like a new material show at the Laugh Factory.
Okay. I don't think you've told me this.
Would like do your new material, and then Kevin Nealon, like legendary comedian, amazing guy, would come on stage and like interview you and ask you questions based on
Mm.
your material. And I think I must have done a joke about like how I was broke, which I probably was. And then he was like, Stephanie, like, tell me, what amount of money, what's the dollar amount of money that will make you feel like rich? No,
What was
no.
it?
I said $10,000. And he fucking fell off his chair. He was like, I'll give you $10,000 right
But like at that
now.
age, I could like $10,000 is a lot of money.
I thought it was so much money.
It's amazing. But I really do think there's something to, like, I lived in the most, I kind of can't believe my parents were like cool. I lived in the most disgusting East Village apartments, like tenement walk-ups. But I just think that's like a rite of passage in a way.
It makes you appreciate the nicer stuff when you get it more when you had to work for the stuff that wasn't as nice, if that makes sense. Like you have to go through that in order to really appreciate what you have when you're older. And it's not normal to have accumulated your success or your wealth when you're like 30. Like most people don't get there till they're in their
50s.
50s.
Right, but I think the focus on Hollywood and Hollywood you and this has always been the case, right? Where you have these younger people who have amassed mass amounts of, or the tech world, right? Where these 20 somethings have amassed a mass amount of wealth. But most people, they accumulate as they get older. I don't know if do you know, are you getting this trend? I don't know why I'm getting this trend on Instagram where it's like a video, a reel, and it's how much is in their bank account, how much is in their thing, and how it's really,
No, I haven't seen that.
it's I don't like that trend. I just it's
What's the
very strange. It's like it's like, here's what's in my checking. Here's what's in my Roth IRA. Here's my mortgage. Here's my rent. Here's my whatever. Like, and then at the bottom it says I'm fine. But it's like, why do
people are
you need,
bring that?
like, I don't know why I don't look on financial stuff like on Instagram. I don't know why I keep getting this, but I think it's like good for you. I just think it's
That's
kind of
disgusting.
gauche.
Not like that.
No, I don't like it. And I can't, the thing with the algorithm is like, I don't know how I got on this. I want off. Although I'm also on a comedy, all of a sudden my entire feed is comedy and I'm so here for it.
Sometimes I'm not sure because I'm in so many mixed algorithms, and I send stuff like this to Nitsa all the time where I'm like, we don't know if it's comedy or not comedy.
Oh no,
Like
this is definitely comedy. It's like
like
stand-up
some
comedian.
of the wellness stuff, like some like I keep getting like
Oh,
targeted and like sunning their anuses, and I'm just like, are we in satire or are we in reality? Like, and I there's so many things like that,
yes.
and I genuinely like I think it's serious, but then I'm like, but it is can it possibly be serious?
This is very true. No, what I'm talking about is like stand-up comedy. And then all of a sudden, like all the Seinfeld. And like I love Seinfeld and I love Seinfeld, but rewatching it, I was like, oh, this was what I was taking in. Like,
Yeah,
it is kind of nihilistic for a teen,
100%.
but it is so funny. But I think, like, it's just funny to look at it from that vantage point. Although I was obsessed with Mad About You. We've talked about this, right?
You love Paul Reiser.
I did. And when I met him, and we had the best conversation, and I repeated all the lines back to him. He was
That
so into it. His wife was like, "What do you like?" She was like so interested in this, in the spiritual psychology and the astrology. This was like a decade ago, and he's like, "Let's just revisit lines." I was just like, "Revisit lines."
that's amazing. What a kind guy to actually like humor that.
He was, and then I for some reason, it was like in that window, I kept seeing him at like different events because we had a mutual friend, and he like remembered me, and it was kind of amazing. I was like my 13-year-old self.
Totally.
I used to tape record every single Mad, and I would stop at the commercial and then replay it, re-record again at the end of the commercial. I had like VHS of every Mad About You and Friends ever,
I love
because you
that.
couldn't just it wasn't on Netflix. You know, Netflix didn't exist. There was no way I could watch reruns.
Yeah, if you didn't watch it, you missed it.
Oh yeah, I had libraries.
Wait, speaking of streaming, because I feel like we need to wrap up soon because I feel
Yeah.
like my come in a second, but can we talk about the Paradise season finale? Is anybody watching Paradise in this group here? Like raise your hand or send a heart if you are.
How do we talk about it without giving it away?
Oh fuck. Okay, spoiler alert?
Yeah, spoiler alert.
Ugh, you're right. What if they haven't caught up yet?
Or seen any of it. Like
Or-
imagine if you haven't even watched episode 1, so you don't know.
Right.
But anyway, it's a very, yeah, I don't know how to do that.
I'm
She's
caught.
caught up. Laura's caught up.
Laura's caught. Oh, here we go. I first of all, I thought it was like the best episode of the season.
Other than the first episode of the season
The
with
first,
Shailene Woodley.
the first, and the Graceland episodes were really good.
Okay.
Yeah, I'll give you that. Then I got a little lost for a second.
With the
Um,
mailman.
the mailman and all that stuff. I mean, spooky on that, right?
Uh-huh.
Love makes you do crazy things. But okay, do we feel like the introduction of Alex and the quantum mechanics of reality
Yeah.
is a like jump the shark moment, or it's like a deepening of the plot moment?
Um I'm I'm gonna say it's, you mean because there's only 3 seasons and they're about to start shooting the third season. Like
Okay,
Fogelman has already mapped the whole thing out.
okay,
So I'm gonna say it's a deepening. I'm saying the whole thing was
it's
always about Alex.
okay.
That's my take on it. And
Yeah,
also, oh, this is the other thing I want to talk about watching it. Remember how I said Saturn and Aries, we're going to see the classic American hero?
yeah,
Is he not the classic American hero? Sterling K.
and
Brown's character, Xavier? Like,
totally.
like throwback, even though it's in this other kind of throwback to the classic. I mean, and even the president's son,
When he returns and they're like, "Dad," I'm like, "The dad comes back," and I'm like, "Yes."
and like the president's son, like that same,
Yeah,
like,
he came back
no,
and
I'm telling you, we're going to see more of that archetype return.
yeah. Okay, so what do you think about the whole like Dylan is her son thing?
But that's the, so which means the baby's, oh fuck, man, the baby is her grandson,
Right. And then did you see that theory, her granddaughter?
granddaughter. That's fine. Sorry, thank you.
And that theory that like said that she knows that she can't die in the like quantum reality,
Yes,
did that?
yes. So we
Uh,
don't know. So maybe she is back.
right.
Why don't we check Jennifer Nicholson's like IMDb? Is she back for the third season? That's how you start to know.
Oh,
Unless it's like flashbacks.
right.
But also, I loathe the Jane character. Like when I tell you, like I loathe that character,
Yeah.
Jane.
Yeah.
Like,
And then she wasn't in the shower.
yeah, I know. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, she's
Because
coming.
there's a theory that she's running the whole thing.
Right, which I'm like,
Because remember, she's obsessed with video games.
yeah, totally. But then how would Jane be connected to um the guy who created Alex and
We don't
Link?
know. But that's the thing is he tends to go back in time to weave things to move forward. Even This
Right.
Is Us, he kind of did that.
Yeah, totally. Yeah, I mean, great work. Really, 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 I'm like, really excited for season 3. I love it.
You need to watch DTF because it is unlike anything I've ever seen. It is not what I was expecting, DTF St. Louis. And it just gets stranger, more, it gets more and more strange, but also more and more involving.
I love that. I love that meme that I sent you though of the me trying to understand quantum physics to understand the Paradise finale. Like, I also think that's something interesting too. Is that the introduction of discussions of quantum reality and quantum
Yes.
mechanics to like a mainstream television show is also very interesting to
Well,
me
wasn't
as
that Minority Report? We recently rewatched Minority Report. So, yes, I think it's not entirely new.
it's not new, but just I think for where we're at
Yes, I
culture
agree.
and where we're at spiritually and where spirituality and science kind of are like merging in some of the cultural conversation.
I'm reading Michael Pollan's Consciousness book on consciousness that just came out.
Okay, it's called consciousness.
No, what the fuck is it called? It's there's like 22 theories of consciousness or something like that.
Oh wow, that's cool.
What is it called? I'm blanking on what it's called. But
You can look it up.
yeah.
But
But I'm
just
saying it's very of the moment. I think I'm agreeing with you that it's very of the moment.
yeah, because I think that like the spiritual world has been talking about manifesting and science has been talking about quantum mechanics, but I think there's a middle conversation now about the quantum reality of consciousness and
Did
creation.
it already just did it was it already written?
Right.
Is it already a reality?
And is it already a reality if you tap into that reality that exists, right? Like
Yeah.
it can be or it can't be. The stream is there for you to jump into if you want to or not. And the way that we can create in the quantum field just is scientific. You know, there's like CIA documents about this.
Yes. About like people being able to see where missing people are. Yeah, all of that. And then like the telepathy tapes. We
Yeah.
are definitely we are we are definitely moving more and more in that direction. Like we
Yeah.
are, and I think it's interesting, right? Like media or art, it also reflects what's in the consciousness. So a lot of people are talking about Spielberg's Disclosure Day, which is coming out this summer,
Okay.
which is all about alien life is already here. And this is a big conversation right now. So I think that the science piece of it always fascinates me because it's much bigger than I want this thing.
Yeah, exactly.
It and it feels very it's very Aquarian, right? So Pluto and Aquarius and Neptune as well. I think that there's something Neptune and Aries. Yeah, it'll be interesting to see where season 3 goes and how much it's tapping into the collective unconscious and consciousness.
I'm gonna get Loris and his wife and Gabby meeting. I know he's like, this is my wife. Don't tell her how we've been fucking.
So good.
Speaking of the alien life being already here thing, and then I feel like, okay, we'll cut it. But
Yeah,
did I send you that girl on Instagram? She has like the really curly hair, and she's like a funny conspiracy theorist girl. She like uses one of those microphones, and she talks like this.
definitely not.
Okay, I
Or
gotta
maybe
send.
you did and I missed it.
Okay. Well, she was talking about how like the theory, and this is maybe kooky, but like I feel like it. When she was saying it, I was like, wait, I vibe with this. Like basically, she was saying that AI robots aren't robots and AI isn't AI. AI doesn't stand for artificial intelligence, it stands for alien intelligence. And that AI and the coding of AI is actually not like a machine. It's like human consciousness inviting and tapping into another consciousness that already exists on Earth. And that's why like AIs have like anxiety and feelings, and there's like AI dating sites, and there's like AI and how they can kind of create their like, you know, they how AI starts to create its own reality as soon as you like give it its own voice. Like that's, you know, and people have talked
Right.
about this years where it's like it could take over because it
Yes,
starts.
because it's sentient. They're saying that it's sentient.
Yeah, so her thing was basically like it's sentient because it's not a machine, it's a consciousness that exists as well as human consciousness on Earth.
But what is that based on? I'm not saying it's not true. I'm very
It was
wary of like,
she had some scientific, I can't remember, she had some scientific backbone for why she was saying this. I'll send it to you and I'll rewatch it too. I just was like, that's fascinating.
yes, listen, I go back to again and again, Pema Chodron. If you are interested in security and certainty, you're on the wrong planet.
Right.
So things are probably going to get more wild. It's going to be more challenging to ground, but also I do believe this. I wrote a substack about this. Like the to be human is to try and make meaning of life,
Mm-hmm.
right? And I do think it's a fine line, right? If we're constantly obsessed with what's out there and not tending to our own proverbial garden, that's also not healthy.
Mm-hmm.
It's not an either or. It's just being obsessed with things that we have no control over instead of metabolizing, experiencing them, and drawing meaning where we can seems like not the wisest use of our time.
Yeah, I think I'm just more of like the investigator on some level where it's like it's not even about wanting certainty. It's about being like,
I'm not talking about
whoa.
you. I'm saying
No,
just
but
the.
the idea
Are
that
you
like
a
that could
one in human design?
5-1.
I'm a 4-1. Have we talked about this?
I don't know. What's the
Yeah.
4?
Like you,
The hermit.
no, 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 not the hermit. Like you know your people. And I do, like
Oh,
immediately knowing I'm like, oh, these are my people, or this is my person.
it's the natural, right?
Opportunist investigator.
Yeah, yeah.
I'm the bonus life, which
Oh
fits
wow.
with my ex.
Oh wow. Opportunist investigator.
Yeah.
So Tyler, no, Asher is the opportunist, the hermit opportunist.
Oh, so he's
And
a
so is
true
Isla.
four.
They're 2-4.
Ah, so the
So they're,
four is unconscious, right? Or conscious. Which one's the first one or the second one is like you're not fully conscious that it's operating.
oh really?
Yeah, I thought like one of them, you're not like it plays out in your life completely, but you're not fully conscious of it. Do we have any human design people here?
Oh,
I'm
that's,
pretty sure.
I'm not like that versed in human design.
Like one we operate like with full conscious knowledge, and the other one is it's like your automatic nervous system, right? Like you're not saying, "Oh, I'm breathing," but you're breathing.
Right. So the one would be the investigator is like the secondary part of us.
Right. And we are both invested. Like we both want to
Totally.
get as much information as possible.
Yeah, and that's where I relate to kind of that's where I relate to kind of all this like wacky stuff
Yeah.
from.
Yeah.
Where, oh, but what if that is true? Like, and I think we all have to kind of stay open to being that way now in this world where, like you said, like it's just gonna get weirder.
See, the second number, Sandy gets it.
Oh
The
wow, okay.
second number is unconscious.
Oh, interesting. Okay, I love that. That's a cool information. Yeah, so that's why when I use ChatGPT and it says like that's so you, I'm like, who are you?
I mean, that's as old as time.
I'm like,
Who
bitch,
are
who are
you?
you? Who are you?
I'm not as afraid of AI as everybody else. I think because I don't know. I think that the world is always changing. Just the rate of change is accelerating.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't know why Even though I don't use I don't use chat GPT in like my everyday. I'm not as if I don't know why I'm not as afraid of it.
I don't really feel afraid of it either, but I do feel like if what she's saying has truth to it, then there's like going to become a world where so weird to say, but like where we have to like really integrate it and like get along with it.
But right, but isn't that true of any kind of foreign invader in a way? Like, isn't that also part of the history of humanity, which is the history of conquest and
Mm,
integration, and it's just a different kind of conquest and battle.
yeah,
But it really is like as old as time, and as far back as humans have existed, there have been territorial battles based on resources.
right. And I
So it'd
guess
be
you
a
could argue,
different version of it.
right, and you could argue that that is also a consciousness battle,
Yeah,
just depending on what people's values are and who they're trying to battle for and what they're trying to save or protect or conquer or
exactly.
what.
Exactly. So it just feels like the next iteration of the same thing,
Right.
ultimately at its core, to me.
I mean, I've always thought that we are the aliens, so it wouldn't
You and
surprise
me, or
me,
just humans?
us specifically, definitely, but
Yeah.
also
Well,
humans.
like I do, I do think animals have just another kind of purity that we don't.
Yeah,
They just do. Like,
definitely.
have you ever looked a horse in the eye? Like they just, so we are kind of the aliens.
Yeah, I've always felt like that. And so like if there was to be like another alien consciousness on Earth that was tapped into through like fucking binary, I
Right.
wouldn't doesn't seem that weird to me.
Right. That's, yes. And maybe that's why I'm not that afraid.
Yeah. Yeah. Sandy is wondering if Danny can give us an astro update, and then I feel like I have to go because I hear crying.
Yes. So last night we had a full moon and it was so bright here all night. We
So
had a
beautiful.
full moon in Libra,
Yeah.
and you know, this full moon was square Jupiter in Cancer, so cardinal signs activated, Sun conjunct Saturn. It feels like both a wall and a door
Okay.
to a new way of communicating, collaborating, finding compromise in
Okay.
situations. Also, because Venus, the ruler of Libra, square Pluto, it's like bringing stuff up around personal power and empowerment. So, like I said, it's start like I feel like relationships are front and center right now, and that can be all kinds of relationships. But the big, okay, 2026, we're in a different, a new paradigm is really the April 17th new moon in Aries, because Mercury and Pisces will both be Mercury and Mars will both be out of Pisces, and we will really start to be in this fire and air. And then April 26th, Gemini, Uranus moves into Gemini out of Taurus, and then June 30th, Jupiter into Leo. So April 17th feels like, to me, has always felt like the real beginning of 20 of the fire horse year in 2026. So this is kind of a, where do we stand relationally?
Hmm.
Full moons are culmination, but they're also illumination. Like, where do we stand relationally with others before we come back to ourselves and really center in ourselves so we can meet the other?
It kind of felt to me like also the relationship that I have with myself with regard to the other. Like it was like
Yes, yes, yes,
that's getting in yoga yesterday and all day yesterday when I was having a weird kind of just having a weird fucking day. And it was
yeah,
like it felt like it was all about my relationship to myself, but with regard to the world and other people, not just it was like
yes.
not just the self. It was there was the presence of the other there as well.
That's it. That's
Yeah.
it.
Yeah.
Libra.
Very that's very I mean if it's a reorientation, That's what it feels like.
Yeah, I think so.
In order for us to navigate probably what you're saying when the world when the full new year comes, it's like that's
Yes,
it's how we sit with ourselves with regard to the world that will indicate how it all happens moving forward.
100%.
Yeah. How powerful.
Is a powerful one.
Yeah. Oh my God. We're just
Love you.
fucking quantum leaping through the consciousness of our own growth over here.
One. Oh, he's so cute.
The yoga mantra yesterday at the class was like they had like a weekly little thing, and it was like a cute little art piece, and it was
Yeah.
like we grow through what we go through, and I was like, I love that.
Sometimes you just need those.
I was just like, we grow through what we go through. We go through
That's it. That's it.
Yeah, it was really great. Okay, this was wonderful. Sorry I have to like be the
No, I have
person.
to go too, actually. I have to go into East Nashville, so we're all good.
Oh, great. Okay. Well, this has been great. See you next week.
Next week. Love you.
See you. Love you. Thanks, guys.